All you stupid millennials buying crossovers. Crossover. Is the Outback a crossover now? Hello. Oh, he doesn't look happy. Good afternoon, YouTube. Woo! Today we're back in sunny Columbus, Ohio. It is a very, very warm 20 degrees outside, and I don't like it. Where's Florida? Today we are driving a new Chrysler 300, and we are being held up at red lights. That's what we're doing. You know who's killing cars? You're killing cars. The RAV4 for the first time in, well, ever, passed the Toyota Camry in sales, I think in 2018. And the Camry's the best-selling car in the country. Pretty nuts. Also, that's a real horn. Yeah, I wanted to drive this car only because how things are going these days with cars, the whole industry. I am driving an endangered species right now. You know, at least I'm back in Ohio where a few people know how to drive. I like that. Today, especially in 2019, you're seeing less and less full-size cars on the road. The Impala's gone. The Cadillac ATS, CTS, I think, is also gone. Ford killed off their Fusion, Focus, Dodge Dart, Chrysler 200. I think this is on the chopping block. All these cars are going away, disappearing. Crossovers, SUVs. That's the new thing. And it's not like the late 90s and the early 2000s where gas prices went down and there was a big boom of trucks, SUVs, and all that stuff. This is a permanent trend. Back then, when gas prices climbed right back up, all those vehicles start to decline in sales. They're inefficient. They're making vehicles nowadays, all these crossovers, SUVs, and trucks, that are just as efficient, almost within like 10%. With a lot of them compared to cars, which has just devastated the car market in the US. So we are making room for a takeover from the imports. Your classic American car, to quote Bloomberg, I think they did an article not too long, no, I think it was beginning of last year, but they said, quote unquote, that, you know, in 8 years time or so, this segment of the car market might not even be there. But when I heard the Impala was killed off, you know, speaking of one over there, but when I heard that car was going to be killed off, my heart sank, because I've always wanted an Impala, only because, you know, that was going to be like, you know, hey, you know, I've made it to the middle class. That's how it's really been throughout history almost. Those are the people who bought Impalas. Your middle class American who's worked the whole life. Van, truck, crossover, van, stupid G-Wagon, crossover. They're all buying these things. For good reason, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna do a video later on why crossovers suck. I hate them. How ugly is that? Nah. Crossovers in America are popular for a reason. They're so wildly convenient. They're so practical. They do things that the everyday car can't do a lot of times. When it comes to space, convenience, you know, storage for things, ground clearance, capability in all weather conditions, off-road, on-road, mud, ice, slush, rain. Rain doesn't matter. You can do anything with them. You have one big giant open space. You can fit almost anything in them. Almost as much as a truck for that matter. And I love trucks. They're bigger, they're higher up, they're easier to get into, especially for older people. So if you drive a crossover, I'm gonna think you're 80 years old. In my mind, and I'm sure the minds of many people around the country, there's nothing that can replace the good old car. How it drives, how it feels, everything about it. They might not be around for too much longer, at least your full-size cars. This is what it's like to own a full-size American car. You're on the road and you're just, get out of my way. It's reminiscent, you know, of the good old days. All these cars, the Impala, the Bel Air, Cadillac DeVille, just all these great American cars. King of the road. We didn't have imports. We didn't have all these things. We did, but the American way, the American lifestyle, it was defined by the car. These crossovers and everything, yuck, that don't handle like cars, they handle like shopping carts. You said higher up, I get it. It's safer, all that stuff. Who cares? I don't like that. That's one of the things I don't like about this car. Which, give me even a, where's my knob? Give me my knob. That's what she said. Is this all-wheel drive? I really should know that. Nope, rear-wheel drive. That's how it should be. That's a proper car right there. Rear-wheel drive, full-size American car. Wheel spin for days. You can't look cool in a front-wheel drive car doing wheel spin. Even if you don't know what the hell you're doing with a rear-wheel drive car, you still look cool. That's why these cars are great. Whoop. Let's go. Still got some power. Under the hood of this car, we have a 3.6 liter V8. She's good. That's about all I have to say. The car is very floaty, not surprising, but very floaty. The brakes are, well, somewhat lackluster. There's a reason why rappers buy this car. You own the road. Fat people will fit nice in here. It's a big, you have a lot of room in this car. The exterior of the car is really nice too. It's, I mean, it's an older design. It's been around. This car started in 2005. I think it's 2004. Started production in 2004. And people have come to know this car as the Chrysler 300. You have the old 300, of course, but this is the Chrysler 300. It's an unmistakable design. This car is what it's like to just sit back, relax, enjoy the drive, and not give a flying about anything else that's happening around you. You have a beautiful moonroof there. You have your heated wooden leather steering wheel, heated seats. None of this stuff is new, but just the package that it's in, I like it. I think the build quality is very nice, but I will say 2008. It's a good look, but it's definitely a little dated. I'm not sure what that is and all that, and these slanting, you know, where the vents are. Everything is a lot more, you know, a little bit aggressive these days, especially with your infotainment system being up here and sometimes that floating screen. So I love the clock. I think that's such a classy touch. The way that it lights up at night makes it look a little cheap, but it's a very nice and simple interior. The infotainment system's reasonably easy to use, but what I expect of a car is, you know, if you don't know the car at all and you get in, you can instantly figure things out, and that's what I think makes a good system. It did take me a while to figure this out, but it's reasonably simple to use. Everything is neatly spelled out for you at the bottom. Your radio, the media, climate, and all those things. So what USB port you're plugged into, those things. You have navigation on the side. One thing I found interesting, and it's getting more and more common on today's vehicles, just to lighten up the button overload, is to put the climate settings on the on the screen up here. So I don't like it. I like to have physical buttons, but then again, I'm old school. So if something glitches out or whatever, you know, for whatever reason, I still want to be able to control my all you stupid millennials buying crossovers. Crossover. Is the Outback a crossover now? Crossover. That was an Outback. Crossover, SUV, truck, crossover, hatchback, van, crossover, Cherokee. That's almost what started the whole crossover thing. So yeah, guys, just to sum it up, times are changing. I don't like it, but whether you do or not, change is coming. Might as well embrace it. I'll embrace it by just buying one of these. Ooh, it's 16 degrees out. I don't like doing this. Ooh. Anyway, today we are going to get lunch and fill a cup up with my own tears that this car will most likely be gone. Ooh, okay. And a little bit. All right, guys, so I'm back from lunch right now, and we are heading back. Come on, gent. There we go. Stupid crossover. Go, stupid crossover. Floor it. How's she on power? Whoa. Not too bad. Whoop. Little bit sideways. When it's 16 degrees out, you just lose all grip. Alright. Alright, guys, the sun is going down. Thank you so much for watching. As always, this is DriveTales. Signing off. Drive safe. This is not driving safe when it's 18 degrees out. And have fun. Long live the car! Peace! Tastes good. Smells like. Thank you for watching.